Post-war, there was a lot going on to entice some of the youth to become ton-up boys or ton-up girls. Firstly, you could get finance on a motorcycle for the first time. Secondly, rock and roll was just starting out, the perfect counterculture coming together with motorcycles. And thirdly, arterial roads were being built everywhere for motorcyclists to pin it on. And obviously then, cafes sprung up to service those bikers. And one of them is still very much alive today.
In the 1950s and 60s, the Ace Cafe near Wembley was the place to go for North and West London's young bikers. As its owner and unofficial historian Mark Wilsmore maintains, it all started with the post-war baby boom.
Kids both sides of the Atlantic go out and buy the fastest thing they could afford. In America, a richer society, the kids went and bought a car. Over here, they bought motorbikes. You could go to the post office at 17, you could fill in a form, and that would be your provisional licence. And provided you had a provisional licence and displayed an L plate, you could ride any bike you liked.
My God, what glory days those must have been.
Today's North Circular is about 100 metres from the current Ace, but in the 1960s, it ran straight past it.
Uniquely here in this little corner of North London, you've got a huge cafe. It's got neon, it's got this jukebox, and you can see in the cafe directly into the car park and directly onto that carriageway. You know, the only speed limit at the time is 30 miles an hour in town. Outside of that, go as fast as you like.
The ton-up boys would stage impromptu races on the North Circular, watched by crowds of spectators.
Speedway up at Wembley, every Thursday night, thousands would be down here after the Speedway, racing out on this road, and thousands would be watching.
With tabloids in full cry, the law changed so that anyone riding a bike over 250cc had to pass a test. So-called mods avoided licences by riding low-capacity scooters, but their arch-enemies, the rockers, stuck to their big bikes. In the mid-60s, mods and rockers spawned new headlines as they engaged in legendary seaside battles. But by the end of the decade, the big news story was the arrival of cheap cars like the Mini and the decline of the bike.
17, 18, 19, the most important thing to you as a young fella is to get a bird, and a girl is going to get in a car a lot quicker than she's on the back of a motorbike. So car sales skyrocket from that point onwards.
By the end of the decade, even the Ace was feeling the heat. It closed in 1969 and languished as a tyre shop for much of the next 20 years, until Mark revived it in the late 1990s. Today, it's once again a mecca for motorcyclists, with visitors coming from all over Europe to pay homage to this iconic venue. There's only one problem: this blackboard.
You've got an electric car night. What's that about?
Well, it's electric vehicle meet, so it's bikes as well. It's not just cars. Yeah, it seems to me, as much as I are into me Gold Stars, modern Triumphs, which I love to bits, the electric is the future, and we're being compelled down that path as a society. It's a new
Tell
thing.
me it's not.
Yeah, but go back to 1890. You look at film or photos of any city, London, Paris, Detroit, it's stuffed full of horses. You look at those same cities 20 years later, it's all motorised.
Yeah.
And I think we're in the midst of that same thing repeating with the now new technology.
I'm just not interested.
I'm not an advocate, don't get me wrong, I love me goldies.
I'm going to sit in my shed, right? And
burst into tears.
Yeah, I'm going to sit there with Sammy or Alan or whoever, or you, and we're going to tinker, we're going to reminisce. And, well, I might just not have to go outside then, really, if it's all about a battery. Not interested.
Coming up,